Hello guys, today I'm going to do a video on different clearing agents to clear your wine. This has been going for about a month now. I've got three of these. No, it doesn't look like it. It is it's a white wine. It was made from peach and grape. No added water, just literally straight concentrate juice. I can't remember the original gravity, but I always, go by the estimate of the percentages what are on here, as well as write down the OG. But yeah, so this started at around 12% on the hydrometer, and this is just normal yeast. It's not turbo yeast, and as you can see, it's fermented to dryness. It's reading the same density as water, so there is no sugar left in there. That will be 12% dry alcohol, dry wine. I've got three of these, as I said, and I'd like to try three different variations on wine thinnings. I've heard that if you mix up egg white, that will work in a really small amount. I've tried that before and I didn't have good success. So I'm going to try literally a standard wine thinnings kit, which is as simple as part A and part B. Part A goes in, you wait for an hour and then add part B. The second method I'm going to try is bentonite clay in a little bit of hot water from the kettle. Let it cool down, 2 to 3 teaspoons per gallon into about 100 ml of water. You don't want it thick like a paste, because bentonite is actually full of earth, which is what you would mix it up if you, I don't know, males can do it too, but if you're into that feminine kind of thing, you would mix bentonite clay full of earth into a really thick paste, and you would put it on your face and leave it on there for several minutes, give it a wash, and it acts as a cleanser. But it will also clear your wine. It also has that ability to latch on to the particles in here through static electricity and bring them all down. There's not a fair bit of sediment in the bottom of here. There is a tiny bit of sediment in the bottom of here. Normally I'd expect to see over a centimetre, or 2 or even close to an inch, which I've had before. But there's fuck all in the bottom of this one. I'm not too sure why that is. I've not racked it from one to the other, purely because there wasn't enough sediment to warrant going from one to the other, which is another risk of contamination. Yeah, and the other method is going to be beer thinnings. A lager kit, apparently it would clear 40 pints. So I'm going to stick one of them into a gallon, which is 6 bottles of wine, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, we'll move on to step 2. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the beer fining agent, which is fine, because we're going to use the part A and the part B for one demijohn. We're going to use, again, part A and part B. Different manufacturers. I'm pretty sure that they are practically the same, apart from one difference. One half of the last two parts, which is part B, one is derived from crab and shrimp shells. I'm not sure what name that is. It doesn't say it on it. And this half of part B is actually glycerin. I think I've got that the right way around. It could be part A. I'm pretty sure it's part B. Is just your standard glycerin. So again, that's another test. So we're going to do a wine binding for this one. We're going to do a wine and beer kit thinnings for this one, and bentonite clay for this one. Now, I find this really, really comical. All of this information on this, and it doesn't tell you what it's for or how to use it. But yeah, it doesn't say it's for wine. It doesn't say it's for putting on your face. But yeah, 3 or 4 spoonsful of that into a jug of boiling water. So yeah, that's going to be the little experiment to see what clears out. And I'll probably get this video up tonight. Just leave them for an hour, because I know from experience that bentonite would genuinely work better. I've never put it in this kind of wine. I've put it in cider before now, and it worked quite well. I've put it into a red wine before, and it didn't do a thing. I mean, the bentonite went straight through, dropped to the bottom, and it was still really dark, which, red wine's a little bit hard to get right, because you never really know it's clear until you pour it, and you're holding it up to a light. But yeah, I only made a gallon, and I didn't quite get to the stage of pouring and drinking. But yeah, we're gonna crack on and see what clears out first. Okay, some people may say this is cheating a little bit, as Camden tablets can clear wine all on their own, although not in an hour. It would take, I don't know, anywhere from between 24 hours to 96 years going on my research. But I think it's called for. Just one tablet crushed, put into each demijohn, just to prevent it oxidizing, really, which is its sole job, to stop the wine going off. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of potassium sorbate in, which you can get, you know, in soppy little pots, but it doesn't really go far. Yeah, I mean, if you make as much wine as I do, it's really worth buying in bulk. Now that cost me about £2 from Wilkinson's, and there's about 7 teaspoons in there, 7 heaped teaspoons, and that cost me £5 off of eBay. And you know, judge for yourself how many teaspoons is in there. So yeah, if you make a lot of wine, buy in bulk. You know, it's really worth it. My camera decided to stall when I added this part A and part B of the wine clearing. I've just switched out the airlocks, just because this is the Applejack that I'm attempting to make. I've not long pitched the yeast, and it's getting kind of cold outside because it's still raining. So I thought I'd plug up the little heater just to give them a little bit of a start. You say when you are adding stabilizer to mix it with a little bit of the wine, like decant some out, mix it and put it back in. I don't do that, I never have. Again, risk of contamination. But you do get a pretty exciting reaction if you just dump this straight in there. Ooh. Let's see. So we're going to leave these for an hour or so and come back. Sorry people, it has not been 1 hour, it's been about 4 days, and unfortunately it's the sachet has not cleared at all. It is just dead cloudy. You can't see through it or anything. It's pretty crap, to be honest. As for the kit, it has cleared out. There is a fair amount of sediment in the bottom of that, and that's a better example. And it is clear, it's just not crystal clear. But yeah, you know, they say it recommended 10 days, should do it. And this is the bentonite clay, which has the most amount of sediment at the bottom. But again, it's not clear, and it's not looking very white. It's looking pretty green. But yeah, I wrote on them wrong. But I've just labelled the top and pulled the labels off, as I know what they are. And yeah, so I don't know whether it was because the grape I used was a cloudy variety or what. It was grape and peach, so maybe the peach has made it a little bit hazy. But yeah, it's still a little bit too early to tell. But I would give the trophy to the bentonite clay, as it's got the most amount of sediment or lees at the bottom. But yeah, we'll give it a little bit longer, and I'll update it in another 10 days or so. Cheers people. Peace. This is the wine now. It didn't completely clear out. It's been about 2 weeks later now. So I bottled it up. I've made a little video on bottling with this wine that obviously you've been watching clear. But yeah, unfortunately, we was looking for something a little bit clearer like that, but it takes time. So time is what I shall give it. I've got 3 cases in total, which is brilliant. The peach is really coming off it when I was bottling. I had a sneaky little taste, and it was really nice. So yeah, that concludes the filling of wine.